Okay, today is November 30th, 2022, and it is 7 o'clock by my car clock, but I have that early. So, I'm going to do YouTubers that I have unsubscribed from, um, and why. So, I unsubscribed from, I'll do this all in order. Like, not in order, because it's going to be random. So the first one is going to be, it's a few of them to get and grouped together. A Marvel Girl, a Radical, and Schrodinger's cat. Anyone who's heard of Schrodinger's cat knows, like, he did, sovereign citizen videos, played them and had reactions, and, you know, he passed away. And, we messaged a few times who I thought was him. And because there is a group of sovereign citizen, flat earth or whatever, near Albany. And I was like, hey, I just wanted to, like, reach out since you know this group and, see if I should be concerned. And he was like, no, they're bitches, whatever. To summarize, they just run their mouths pretty much. And when he died, I made a collage. And Marvel Girl, I think her name's Tina, I don't even remember, messaged me and was like, oh my god, where'd you find these pictures? She's like, I've never seen them, I've never seen them in a suit and everything. And I told him, like, if you look up somebody's name, especially when they're, like, a well-known YouTuber and stuff like that, and you go to images, you can find images of those people. And, I told her some stuff, like, I had reached out about a GoFundMe, my GoFundMe, to see if he would just, give it a shout out like he's done other people. And he never responded. I don't know what happened with a YouTuber or a GoFundMe account. I guess stuff happened. I don't know. But come to find out, it was Tina messaging me. And then she was like, why would he have time to message with you? Like, why would he talk to you when he, has a job and everything else? Like, okay, like, F you. And, so that kind of was a kick in the balls in a way, metaphorically. And then I was like, so the whole time, I messaged X, Y, and Z, and she was like, I don't know about those emails. She was like, he must have answered you then. Alright, cool. And then, it was really shady how they did everything. Like, they didn't put out details about his funeral, whatever. And that's fine. I don't know what happened. I was going to go just out of respect because I really liked the dude. Like, he was a cool person. And And then after his, he died, they were like, oh, like, people were commenting, like, Raj Cole should take over his page and everything else. And it's like, that's fine. But they both had this attitude of superiority at one point, and it's kind of like if you weren't in their little group, even though, like, Schrodinger would say, like, or Cliff would say, like, you know, everybody was included. It wasn't like that after he died, and it was really sad that, it was almost exploited in a way. So that's the first group. Second one is Mr. Ballin. So I've mentioned my cousin on here a few times about her killing her baby and blah blah blah. And I guess he has a grant that he gives to people or, like, organizations, and he gave it to the victims organization in Arizona, and I'm not gonna say which one, and that's cool. I absolutely love that because it's a really good organization. I love the people there, absolutely amazing. So I reach out to him, and I just commented, like, on Twitter. I put, how'd you hear about whatever? And it was deleted because it doesn't show up on my page. And so I private message him, and no reply. And it's like, first of all, I don't know. I didn't know he does grants. Second of all, I want to know how he heard about it, because my thing is, it's like, I don't know if he's using them to gain a bigger platform than he already has, because they're murder victims' families, and he does true crime stuff. And, like, if that's the case, it's really insulting. If it's not the case, great. But it feels like he's going to try to take advantage of people or of the clients from the organization to try to find story ideas. On to the next one, and this is just recently that I stopped subscribing to her, is Bailey Sarian. And that is because her and Mr. Ballin, posted a pic of them having coffee, everything else, and it's like, well, now that they're like, why would I support Bailey if she's hanging out with him? Like, I look at the company that people keep, and when I feel like he's using people for their stories, then I don't want to be associated with that. And, there's some history, like Bailey and I, or I was there, like, a little ways into, like, murder mystery makeup, mystery, whatever. I don't even remember the name of her page, of her channel now, because it's not worth it. And she acts like the people who were there before she became, really famous YouTuber don't mean anything, kind of. Like, she moved into a new house, and she has her email up, so I wrote her a little email, and I was like, hey, because she was like, I don't know how to decorate it, blah, 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 and I was like, hey, I have some cute ideas, and I was just going to send her Pinterest pictures, like, just bullshit, random ones that, like, we've both liked the same things on Pinterest, and I don't follow her on Pinterest. It was, like, stuff that she put in her videos. So her management company, because she has a management company now, messaged back like, we don't need help from you. And it's like, okay, cool. Whatever. And, then I've got to see if this person is moving or not. As I drop my phone. Around, I don't even know if she came back over yet. Fighting for parking downtown is like preparing for war. And she didn't come back over yet. Morning. So then she was like, oh, I got a P.O. box, send me letters, whatever. So I sent her 2, I think. And the first one was like, hey, this is who I am. Just so she would know who was messaging her or sending her letters at her P.O. box. And then the second one I wrote was just like, hey, what's going on? Hope everything's good, blah, blah, blah. Just like random shit. And again, the P.O. box was to her management company. So somebody read them, before they were deemed good enough. And I guess they weren't good enough. I don't know. And because I was a pen pal with a YouTuber until she moved. And it was really cool. Like, it was cute because she would open letters, like, on her page, and my letters, like, always got open, and it like, made you feel special in a way. Because she's so nice and such a nice person. So, whatever. That kind of, I don't know. Just the attitude of, now that I'm this huge YouTuber, I'm better than everyone. And, yeah. It just sucked. Like, I thought she was a really chill person, and I guess she's not. Yeah, I think those are the only ones. that I think are complete crap to their followers in a way. I mean, with Bailey, it was more, you know, kind of personal, and Mr. Ballin definitely more personal because of that situation. It's if you you helped an organization and somebody, they're not questioning at first your intentions, they're questioning like, oh, how'd you hear about them? Because it's not like people say, oh, I, you know this organization, or I'm a part of this organization because of X, Y, and Z. It's very specific for murder victims' families. And, then when you don't get a reply, and then when you look at, his content, and it's that's where it got really shady for me. And then, with Schrodinger's cat and all, and, Marvel Girl and Radical, it just seemed like they were exploiting the death of someone that a lot of people really cared about, and that a lot of people would have wanted to pay their respects to, and we weren't allowed, So, I just think some YouTubers, once they hit a certain number or whatever, it goes to their heads. And I think that's what happened with Bailey also. Because, she bought a house, she has management now, and I've put on here before that I helped a YouTuber with research and shouted out his page, and he's offered to pay me, but he's got his own stuff going on. And, I told him, once I feel like I've done a decent amount of research that, or, it's been longer than, this amount of time, then yeah, I would definitely, consider it. But I like to research things, whatever, and he's really cool. And when people are nice, it doesn't feel like you're doing work for them. It feels like you're helping them. So that's whatever with that. I don't know. It just seems like YouTube breeds entitled people in a way. Oh, there are a couple other ones, like top 10, the top 10 countdown, because of Joss. Because she's a bitch. And there was another one, Charlotte, I think. I honestly don't remember her last name because, again, not worth it. I unfollowed her because she's a bitch. Like, straight up bitch. Um, like, they put on an act in front of the camera, like, oh, I'm such an awesome person. I'm so cool. You know, I'm chill. You know, I love all of you guys, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, you love, you know, if I had 5 million followers and was getting sponsors and, you know, tattoo magazine articles and all that stuff, I'd love my followers too, you know, like, I'd love subscribers too, like, and I get that, like, YouTubers, like, they genuinely want this to be their job, and that's awesome, like, and yeah, you need to make money for, you know, for your livelihood, and I don't know. But it's like, don't let it go to your head because you know what? There are a lot of people out there that want absolutely nothing from you. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want help, they don't want whatever else. Oh, another YouTuber I unfollowed or unsubscribed from was, I can't remember his last name, but it was Jay, and he talked about the time he was, all of his stuff is like prison stories and whatever. And he was in prison with someone that lived in Albany. He was murdered. And actually a couple people that lived in Albany. And I don't, yeah, I remember their names, but I'm not gonna say them. But in one of the videos, he was like, yeah, they were cool dudes. I don't know, you know, whatever happened to them once I got out. And for one of them, I knew what happened. And again, this was before, you know, his channel blew up. And I messaged him, and I know he replied to emails because he said that he replied to emails. And even in the subject, I put the name of the person and stuff just so he would know, like, what happened. And then, you know, once he got a bigger platform, he kind of, you know, I had a bigger attitude towards his subscribers, which is, you know what, it's fine. But people who subscribe to you, they don't want anything from you, some of us. We just want you to know, like, hey, we really support you, we love your channel, congratulations, you know, we're really happy that you've gotten to this point since we've been here from, like, the beginning. That was Bailey, you know, especially. And it's kind of like, okay, well, thanks for being a subscriber, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for, you know, bringing more people, but fuck you. And it sucks. I don't know. Like, I know famous people, like Barbara Steele. People probably haven't heard of her. If you have, I love you. You know, I met her. I've sent her letters. I have her phone number, you know, whatever else. I know one of her good friends. He's one of my best, best friend Facebook friends. And I met him when they did a, a thriller convention, chiller convention, excuse me, you know, and I got to sit at her table for like 8 hours, and I got, she wanted a coffee. I went and she, told me how to make her coffee, and I was like, I really hope I don't fuck this up. And, it was really fun and really exciting. And, she's cool as hell. Lisa Marie, Tim Burton's ex-girlfriend, wife, whatever, she's a total snob. Like, I am not a huge fan of her attitude. She was sitting right next to Barbara, and she's totally a diva attitude. And that's whatever. And then who was it? Jenna Jameson was there. This was, a while back, whatever. Jenna Jameson was there. And, Lisa Marie had to, like, be like, Jenna, hi. Like, all fake and, like, high-pitched voice and everything. And Jenna acted like she didn't even know who she was. And it's like, when you've got a porn star acting like they don't know you, like, that's sad. And there are other, people, like, and they're really cool. And, like, once they get to know you as a person, and they realize, like, hey, this person doesn't want anything from me, this person is really chill, then, it becomes a friendship. It doesn't become you're famous and I'm not, and it becomes a friendship because you don't see that fame. You see them. And maybe it's because I met certain people after they were, famous, but like, they were already famous, they were already known, and then they understood, like, okay, this person doesn't want anything from me. They don't care that I'm famous or whatever. But with YouTubers, it's like you're there when they're very, very small, and then they get really, really big, and then it's like they push people away. And it's sad. It's sad that you don't know that, like, once you get that big, you push people away because you're afraid now that they want something from you. And like Miranda Otto, she doesn't, on Instagram, doesn't acknowledge fan comments. Her husband's awesome though. Like, her husband, like, will respond to comments, will like talk to you and actually have like a a conversation with you. He's really nice. And so was Lucy Davis and Miranda Otto's husband. Like, I didn't know they were in Australia during the lockdown because Michelle Gomez was staying in New York, like a few hours away from me. And I told him, I was like, hey, if you and Miranda come and stay with Michelle ever, I was like, let me know, because we were talking about coffee. And I was like, I was a barista for 10 years. I was like, I bet I could make you the best coffee ever. And he was like, oh, that's really cool, whatever. Like, we were just bullshitting back and forth. And it was fun. Stuff like that. It's like, or Voltaire. Voltaire is really cool. Father Evil, I think his name is. Whatever. With him too. Like Gabrielle Faustus, just a few people who. Oh, A. L. DeVore. She seems really cool in person, and then I don't know. And then, like, there are a couple other people. I don't even remember their names now because I don't care enough. I don't know. So that's about it. This is a long ass video. Sorry. So, besides that, I start therapy on Friday. Hey girl, like, haven't been able to find a therapist locally. And Psychology Today, if you do a Google search for, therapists, Albany, New York, takes my insurance and has evening hours, they'll actually bring you to, Psychology Today. And I went through at least 10 profiles, and none of them took my insurance. They took whatever public assistance insurance is. I know it's CDPHP, which is like really good insurance because you don't need prior authorization for anything. But yeah, they didn't take my insurance. So I finally found a place. They're in Long Island, so it's going to be on Zoom. And that's fine. Like, and I called Monday and I have an appointment for Friday. And I told her about everything that happened with my other therapist or like the intake person. Because she got all of my information and stuff like that. And I asked if they had anyone there that could kind of handle someone with kid gloves because of the situation I was in with Sally and how everything went down. And so I'll see how it goes. Yeah. Other than that, that's about it. I put the IVF stuff on hold until January, because the last time my very first IUI, I found out on my birthday that my birthday week, that I wasn't pregnant. And it was a very short phone call. It was 32 seconds. And it's such a weird thing to remember, and I didn't want that to happen again. I didn't want to have to go through, the medication cycle and do an egg retrieval, because it's exhausting. You put your body through hell, and then it doesn't respond, and that's just, one more thing. And I think that's it. So I will get to the cigar shop. There was somebody on here that asked if I smoke cigars. It's random and very few and far between. The place isn't that far from me. It's just I haven't had a reason to stop in there or go into the plaza. So, but I will. I promise. I think that's it. Everybody have a good week, rest of the week, and rest of, good weekend. And know that I do really appreciate all of you who subscribe to me and, actually watch my ramblings, and it means a lot, the comments. And, I really do love you guys, because, you know, it's just me talking about my life. It's nothing exciting, So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And I hopefully will talk to you, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.